Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Duelyst. We should say right off the top, this is Let's Look at EX. It's my kind of tag at the end, the suffix at the end of Let's Look At to let you know this is a sponsored video. This has been financially sponsored by Counterplay Games, the developers and publishers of Duelyst, and it's being produced in that fashion, so consider this fair warning that this video is meant more as an advertisement than it is intended to be a fair and impartial review. That being said, as always, we work these deals out where we can say whatever we want, and we only take deals for games that we enjoy in the first place. And if you could see the inbox of dead sponsored games pitches that have been passed away, you would understand that. But in any case, I don't know why I have a chip on my shoulder about it. Most people are pleased with the way we've done sponsored stuff. So, with that in mind, what is Duelyst? Duelyst is a collectible card game in the same vein as a Hearthstone mix, or Magic the Gathering, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or, you know, etc., etc., mixed with a isometric grid tile-based strategy game similar to a Final Fantasy Tactics or a Disgaea or a the Banner Saga might be a better example. So basically, it's those two combined. It's a little bit like Mojang's foray into the genre 3 years ago with Scrolls. It's free to play. You can buy booster packs. You can also buy emotes and stuff like that. And I've actually played maybe 3, maybe 4 hours of this myself. What's kind of nice about it is that it doesn't only have the ability to play against other people online. You can also play against the AI, of course, but it also has like Sunday newspaper chess puzzle type stuff, which we'll get into. But anyway, before we get into that, let's just explain the very basics of what we got going on in Duelyst here. So, it is a deck builder CCG at its core, and then the strategy layer is layered on top of that. So, practice allows you to play against the AI. Season ladder is effectively the ranked version of the mode. And solo challenges is what I was talking about earlier, where these are effectively puzzles that you go through. They're one-off puzzles. Basically, checkmate your opponent in one turn. And the way you checkmate their opponent is by killing their general. Generals have hit points and power toughness, etc., etc. But let's just start by doing a quick practice game, and I've built a deck here. This is Northern Lionar. There's 6 different factions in the game: Lionar Kingdom, Songhai Empire, Vitruvian Imperium, Abyssian Host, Magmar Aspects, and Vanar Kindred, and they all kind of have their fantasy or fantasy-esque analog, if that makes sense. Like, Lionar Kingdoms is very much like the Norse style, you know, sword and shield, but also it has some cool kind of like dwarven architecture stuff going on, steampunk units, stuff like Abyssian Host. That is a little bit more of the H.P. Lovecraft style, eldritch horror stuff. Songhai Empire is a little bit more Eastern-inspired, you know, units with katana and stuff like that. But anyway, we're going to play Northern Lionar, which is a deck that I've crafted myself. I haven't put any of my own money into the game yet, but we are going to do a stream later where we're going to be buying a bunch of packs, and we'll show some unboxings there and stuff like that. But I have gotten maybe 6 or 7 packs through in-game play, and some of those cool cards are in here. So let's play my deck, and let's play against the Abyssian Host. I think usually people are going to want to see some of this a little more horrifying stuff, you know, as we get going. This will do a good job of showing the divergences in the art design here between 2 different characters. So the good thing about practice mode and why I wanted to start here is because we do have the ability to take as long as we need to discuss what's going on. So when you first get started, this is effectively your hand. Rather than the units being represented by cards, they're represented at the bottom by a unit bar that you'll see as we get going. But we start with 6 cards. The mana cost is represented at the bottom, so we have 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. And name icon in the middle with some animations: Piercing Mantis, Putrid Dreadflayer, which I believe is a neutral card. There are neutral cards that are not class-specific, meaning you can put them in any deck, but it doesn't necessarily keep with the flavor of what we've got going on with the deck here. Primus Shieldmaster, and then we've got 3 Piercing Mantises. So you know what? We can replace up to 2 cards. I'm going to replace 2 Piercing Mantises, but normally you probably wouldn't do this. Normally you would instead maybe replace something that was expensive, like if we had a 6 or 7 mana card or greater. But there's a little bit of a lack of variety here, so let's take them out. And cool, we got 2 different cards that we're not going to be able to use for a little while here, but that's okay. So let me explain just what's going on here as we get started. You start with 2 mana. Every turn, you get 1 more mana. So that works very similarly to Hearthstone. It's not like Magic where you have to play a land card in order to get extra mana that you use permanently. You just get 1 extra mana crystal per turn. You have a general, and your general is basically your king, but simultaneously it could be a very aggressive or powerful unit for you as well. So yellow indicates power, red indicates toughness. Or if you'd rather, yellow indicates attack, red indicates HP. So 25 hit points. If those go down to 0, you lose the game, and it can happen really quickly. One of the the hallmarks of Duelyst is that the games, you know, in other CCGs or TCGs online, tend to be short. They tend to be 10 to 15 minute games unless you're playing Magic, which of course Magic Online games can go for an hour, Magic Online rounds at least. Games in Duelyst can be over in 4 or 5 turns, which sometimes can be less than 5 minutes. So it really has a really frenetic and rapid pace. But anyway, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. So you can move units and attack with them in the same turn. It doesn't have an XCOM style, like, you know, if you do one, you can't do the other. So we'll just move our general forward 2 spaces here. Oh god, we do have a limited amount of time. I forgot. Okay, we're gonna throw, we're gonna swap 1 card here to try to get another low mana card, and that didn't work. And then we're gonna play the only card that we can afford to play. We can play it in a circle around us. I'm gonna put it over here. What are these orbs on the ground? We'll end our turn now. The orbs on the ground are effectively mana wells. Mana springs, as they call them, which, when you touch them, gives you 1 more mana crystal on that turn only. So they do have the ability to allow you to summon creatures that otherwise you might not necessarily be able to, but they don't necessarily have a pivotal impact on the game in every circumstance, but you still want, you see most games people rush them down and try to get them taken care of to give them a little bit of the initiative, if you will. Alright, so I want to see what the opponent did there. First, they played an artifact. Horn of the Forsaken. Whenever your general deals damage, summon a 1/1 Wraithling nearby your general. So every time I hit their general, it's going to summon a Wraithling. They until this artifact breaks. And it breaks 1 durability every time the hero takes damage, or the general takes damage, so in 3 hits it'll be gone. So we could... we're probably stuck with doing not any damage to them this turn. Let's talk about some of the special abilities we have here. First things first, I'm going to recycle a unit we can't use to try to get one we can. And that's pretty nice. We got Healing Mystic, which allows us to get some HP back. But I may summon our flying unit this time. You'll notice that some of these cards have different abilities associated with them in the text section at the bottom. So Keeper of the Veil has Opening Gambit. That's effectively a battle cry, or an effect that is, it takes place when this unit enters the battlefield. So if I summon this, this will summon a random non-token friendly minion, destroy this game. So the more strong units that die, the more valuable a unit like this becomes. And that orange square, or sorry, circle, never was good at geometry, in the middle indicates that this is a legendary that I picked up from a pack. But instead, we're going to deal 2 damage to this minion, just to knock it out. You know, concepts like board control are still important here. And then we're going to go over here, and I don't know, maybe we'll go to the Wellspring quickly, and then we'll summon a flying unit. And effectively, a flying unit, that just means that they have control, or they can go anywhere on the battlefield. They don't have to be restricted to the same movement that other units are restricted to. So concepts like board control, card advantage, tempo, the vanilla test even, when I'll talk about that when we look at the deck building stuff in the game. Those definitely still apply in a game like this, but it's cool that it has this extra layer of strategy overlaid over top. And I think at this point, that's kind of what you need to stand out in the genre, is to have a little bit of an extra quirk going on, and it really works well for this. It gives it way more of like a chess feel. Sorry, the game is a little loud. I left it on a little louder than I should have. Let me not concede, but at least turn down the master volume a little bit. But I'm not necessarily doing a fantastic job here of showing off what we should be doing. But let's see if we can turn this around. Opening Gambit, deal 2 damage to a nearby enemy minion. Okay, I think I've got a plan. Start. 2 damage to a nearby enemy minion. Boom. You have been hit. Swap units, because this unit Deathwatch gains 1 +1/+1. So if we killed anything on the battlefield, this unit would get stronger. So I want to kill that before it gets buffed out of control. We'll move our general down here, and I'm going to kill the Wraithling, and then I'm going to summon a Healing Mystic, and I'm trying to block the enemy out a little bit. I'm going to use the Healing Mystic's Battle Cry, Opening Gambit, to restore 3 HP to our general here. And that's the end of our turn. Okay, so now we've reestablished board control here, and you can see that there's, not only is it about having the cards, but it's also about, you know, moving the units properly, and I like that. To be fair, that is true in other games like Hearthstone, like you can't, or Magic even, you can't simply play the card and then expect that card to win you the game unless it's Avacyn. But at the same time, it's a little Magic joke. I'm trying to think of something. Okay, unless it's Dr. Boom, I'll put a Hearthstone joke in there as well. But because there's an extra degree of, you know, positioning in addition to target selection and ability activation and stuff like that, I think that it maybe even is a little bit a step more complex in Duelyst here. So let's reevaluate the situation. We have lots of Wraithlings around. The artifact still has 1 durability, so we could end that this turn pretty easily. We could also kill this Thorn Needler, which I think I probably should. Or we could use Provoke. And what a unit with Provoke does is effectively it's a taunt. So all units that are in range of it can't move until this unit is dead. Now, I think that we're in a great position if I can just throw this Provoke unit down right here. Because the units surrounding it are extremely weak. So I feel like they'll all die attacking me, except for the general, of course. And if we just swap our 2 units for their big unit, and then maybe attack their general, which will summon a Wraithling, but hopefully, I was going to say hopefully it summons it near the provoked unit, but this is okay either way. We'll end our turn. And honestly, that's a big example of how one unit could possibly do some great stuff for us here and get us a lot more value than otherwise expected. All of these units should be dead unless they find a way to remove my provoked unit before things go off here. So there's one Wraithling gone. They don't have to attack us with their general. I probably would, though. You know, why put off the inevitable at this point? Keep in mind, HP is also permanent, so if you lose HP, you don't go back up to full toughness or HP at the end of the turn. I know different CCGs handle this differently. Hailstone Golem, 4/6. And then Gloom Chaser, summon a 1/1 Wraithling. Honestly, to be fair, the AI is usually pretty simple in Duelyst. I don't think I've lost against the AI yet. That's not to imply that I'm amazing at the game. Rather, I'm going to recycle this unit, see what we get. Okay, that could be good. Rather, I say that to instead make you think that I'm not very good at the game. Which is probably true. Although I have done okay online, but who knows? Maybe it's just the luck of the draw, as they say. So let's think about this. We probably have the win. We have more HP on our general. We do have a unit with Zeal. Zeal basically gives this unit an attacking buff when they're in range of our general. So that's pretty good, but it's a weak unit. We have 6 mana. I think we might just want to move. Well, no matter what, we're going to be dead there. So I'll tell you what. Let's summon a Keeper of the Veil. Summons a non-token, random, friendly minion that died this game nearby. Alright, we summoned our 2/3 Healing Mystic, which is not very good. Not horrible, but not very good. And, you know, maybe I got a little cocky there. We're not as well off as I previously thought, but this might be a good time to introduce the concept of our Bloodborne spell. So effectively, this gives a minion near our general, +2 attack. So I'm actually going to cast this, because we don't have anything else to do with our mana, and it has a 2-turn cooldown. Unless I can get you to... No, okay. I'm going to cast this. Might as well buff this unit. You get +2 attack. Sadly, I don't know what to do with our remaining time, so I'm just going to go to face. I'm going to hit the general as hard as I can. And I think I may have made an egregious error here. But hopefully we can show off something else that's cool about Duelyst, and that's kind of the combo-based nature that some of these decks can really pop off. It really does allow for... And this is not to downplay other games that are obviously wickedly successful. Okay, so it's the same artifact from before, I believe, that they just used. But there's a little bit more of a tactical nature, I think, going on in Duelyst that some games that are in the same genre don't necessarily have. That's a bummer, because I just buffed that unit, but I should have seen that coming. There really are the possibilities for, like, you know, exclamation point style masterful tactical plays. Am I the person that's going to get them going here? That's a very good question. I'm not totally sure, but we'll see. Dying Wishes, draw a card. So we have to do 9 damage. There's a lot of minions on the battlefield right now. We have 15 HP. 1/1. Okay, so there's only 8 damage right now. That could go up, though. But I think... we might be able to get the win, as ridiculous as that sounds. You have 9 HP, and we also have this card. Give a minion plus attack equal to its health. So if we use it on this minion, it will go to 5/3. 5 plus 2 obviously gives it 7, so we need to find a way to deal 2 more damage. So I think the easiest way to do that is maybe recycle. Deal 1 damage to an enemy minion or general. Okay. Alright. How do we take care of this? Here's the way I think I would do it, and the way I'm gonna do it. Summon the 1/1 here. Deal 1 damage to this guy. Don't go to face yet. Just focus a little bit more on board control, unfortunately. We're gonna buff this guy. He's gonna become a 5/3. We're gonna deal 5, which is gonna summon another Wraithling. We're gonna deal 2, and does this put me in lethal range? I'll go down to 13. 5, 1, 1, 1, 2, so that's 7, 9, 10. I shouldn't die here, but if this all goes wrong, then I will feel pretty silly. But you know what? He's boxed in there. And you know, the other thing worth mentioning is I can actually summon another Healing Mystic and heal myself up here. And I'm pretty confident that unless there's some kind of miracle card, like a high HP Provoke card would be really bad right now for me. But assuming that there's no miraculous top deck or anything like that, all we need to do is hit the enemy general once, which we should be able to swing. How would I stop me? Move the general, summon a minion that blocks it out, and then maybe we'd have some trouble. But for now, all we need to do is hit the general once, and if we just use our own general for that, that's fine. Give all friendly minions +2 attack. This is what I mean when I say sometimes the AI might be a little too simple in the practice games, because I think maybe with that card they could have just comboed into a win if they just attacked me all straight to the face. But the problem is the general can't attack me or she'll die, and we'll either have a draw or I'll win in that case. But alright, so assuming that that's the end of their turn, we've won. All we need to do is... oh, they did! They threw up a block in front of me! That's very sensible. But then they're going to kill this unit on my general, and now my general can just walk over and kill him. Oh, wait, no, here come the attacks. Wait a minute. Does this guy... We might actually lose here! Oh, God. For the first time. A loss against the AI. How embarrassing. No! Okay, we are still gonna win. Alright. Let's recycle this, see if we can win with style. When you replace this card, summon it nearby. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, so that very nearly went terribly wrong. But let's finish this off here. Well played? I don't know if I would say well played. But sure, if you say it's well played, then that's fine. We've already gotten this unit to level 10. I know I've said Hearthstone, but it is a lot like Hearthstone, at least in the way its progression is set up. So all of the classes have a certain set of basic cards that you can unlock just by playing AI games against, or practice games against the AI, and this allows you to build a deck that is at least semi-competent, and then you take it online to the ranked modes, and that's where you get more and more XP, and I think at level 20 you get the final basic class cards for the set. So there is a grind associated with that, but also there's a lot of like progressive rewards that you can get if you keep playing against the AI over and over, and it incentivizes playing as different decks. Like I have a Songhai deck. I don't think it's as good as the Lionheart deck, but let's go check out some of the interstitial stuff now that you kind of understand a little bit more about what's going on in Duelyst. The collection is where you're going to have all the cards that you've gotten over the course of the game and over the course of the stuff that you've unlocked as well. And we do have some new cards here. Let me see. I just got some legendary... I didn't want to see the Healing Mystic. You think I don't know what a Healing Mystic does at this point? I just unlocked some new ones via Spirit Orbs, which are basically the game's booster packs. Let's look at this one. It's a 2-mana 1/1. Jaxi. Minions... I know how minions work. Dying Wish. Summon a 1/1 ranged mini-Jax in a random unoccupied corner. So ranged attacks, you'll notice that damage is done simultaneously in... Duelyst. So if I do 2 damage to you, you do 2 damage to me. If we both have 2 HP, we both die. There's no temporal or timing aspect to it. Like, if I attack first, I win. Unless I have, you know, the equivalent of first strike. But ranged is a little different. If a ranged unit attacks a melee unit from range, then it doesn't get counterattacked. So actually, that can be very effective. Dying Wish. Summon a 1/1 ranged mini-Jax in a random unoccupied corner. Interesting. I'm not sure if ranged units can hit anything on the screen, but we can probably tell if we just find a ranged unit. Attack from anywhere on the battlefield. Okay, cool. Let's check out some of the other abilities that you can have as well. We've already seen like Opening Gambit, obviously, Frenzy, Provoke. These are all really important. Airdrop means you can summon this minion anywhere, so it can be really useful just to, you know, have this in your hand right at the start of the game. You start with 2 mana, spend 1, summon a Planar Scout, put it on one of the mana crystals, and then spend 2 and summon your regular 2-drop. But that puts you ahead in tempo, but a little behind in cards, so you got to be a little careful with it. Rush is this game's version of Haste, or what do they use in Hearthstone? I can't remember now. I mean, it might just be Haste again. that allows it to come out, and then it attacks on the same turn. Normally there's one turn of Summoning Sickness. That's a pretty common, theme in these games. Oh, this is another new card for us. We just got Hailstone Golem, 4 mana, 4/6. Oh yeah, earlier I was talking about the vanilla test. So what the vanilla test basically is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because I am still a little bit of a TCG, CCG novice, but basically there's kind of a set way to evaluate cards, and it's not 100% uniformly true game to game, but generally speaking, you want better than the mana cost ×2 out of power toughness, and if you have less than the mana cost ×2, then you want some kind of special ability to go along with it. So at 4 mana here, we get a 4/6. So obviously 4 + 6 is 10. That's more than 2 × 4, which is the mana cost. This card, you have to consider, is maybe pretty decent. Doesn't have any special abilities along with it. That would be ridiculous. And it also has some lore associated with it. I haven't followed much of the story thus far in the game, but that's kind of neat. On the other hand, let's look at a card like 3 mana, 3/2. Okay, so this, maybe, I'm not the best at card evaluation to begin with, and anyone who says there is a dang liar, but 3 mana, 3/2 is pretty bad raw stats, but it comes with an awesome ability in the sense that it has rush, so it can move and attack immediately. So it's a useful tool that you can use when you actually build your decks. And this is another one I just got. This little gem in here indicates that it is a rare. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 spell spark with rush on a random space nearby. So basically you get the equivalent of like a 1/1 elemental that has haste. That can attack nearby, which is really cool. It's a 3/5 as well, so again, fails the vanilla test, except it has this awesome ability below it. Anyway, so this is that stuff that I've gotten, and Pata was actually the one that I got in the last pack that's a legendary, so it's a 7 mana, 12/6, which is ridiculous. And I will say, I think there is a little bit of power creep once you get into the legendaries. It makes you feel awesome when you open it, but at the same time, I imagine if somebody dropped this against me and I didn't have it, I'd be like, oh, well, that seems really weird. Well, I'll play my Healing Mystic, and okay, I've lost. The airdrop allows us to throw down Pato wherever we want, and it synergizes nicely with the opening gambit that he has, which is push all nearby minions and generals to random spaces on the battlefield. So we can drop him like in the middle of a bunch of enemies, or in the middle of us if we're in a bad position, and it'll randomly push everybody away within a radius of ourselves. But that's a little dicey. I guess it has a randomness associated with it. But that's what I like about digital TCGs as well. Like, we play a lot of paper Magic, or at least a decent amount of paper Magic, and there's a lot of arithmetic, and there's a lot of rules and logical progressions to go through in terms of stuff like priority and stuff like that. I like that in games like this, and in Duelyst and Hearthstone, and even some of the legacy stuff in Magic Online, you can get into cooler mechanics that are difficult to represent in paper. Like, this is a game that I think could really only exist in the digital form, and they take advantage of the fact that they're digital to make that happen. So we'll do 2 more things over the course of the video. One of the things is, let's show off the puzzle style stuff, and then we'll play a ranked match against somebody. So I'm going to go into the solo challenges here. By the way, in terms of like getting in-game gold, you can do so via quests, which you're probably familiar with as the system goes. So if you play 3 ranked games, we'll get 50 gold. If we complete the daily challenge, we'll get 5 gold. We can just go complete the daily challenge if you want right now. These tend to be one-off puzzles that may or may not be difficult. And you know what? We're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. So we're supposed to kill the Lionar General in 1 turn. The Lionar General is here. He has 8 HP. What do we have? Just ourselves. And we're provoked. So we're not getting ourselves over there. We have a 4/3 unit with Rush. Summon 4 joined 0/1 walls with Provoke. Teleport an enemy minion or general 1 space. Summon 4 joined 0/1 walls with Provoke. Reactivate friendly minions on your opponent's starting side of the battlefield. Okay, I think I have an idea. We move this unit so we're out of its provoked range. Let's try it. Teleport an enemy minion or general 1 space. This guy. Hold up. I can't see. What have I done? I'm guessing because he's provoked we can't do it. Enemy minion or general 1 space. Okay. Reactivate friendly minions on your opponent's starting side. We have no friendly minions on the opponent's starting side. So what I'm thinking is we gotta get this guy off of our side. Or like we've gotta summon our rush unit and then get it all the way over there. But how are we gonna get the kill Either way, summon 4 joined 0/1 walls with provoke. Let's just try this. Okay. We've summoned 4 0/1 walls with provoke. Can I teleport you? I'm actually sort of confused about this. What's the battle log? Maybe it'll show us. It tells us we tried to cast it. Well, you can't win them all. We can't attack it. The other thing we could do, I'll tell you what, restart our turn. We got to do this in one turn, I think. The other thing we could do is try this. Now, why does it work on you, but it doesn't work on you? Oh, it's got... There, I'm dumb. It's got Spell Shield. Cannot be targeted by enemy spells. Okay. You have Spell Shield as well. How the heck are we going to get rid of this dang Spell Shield? This is way harder than I... You know what? I can't solve this daily challenge. I'm believing right now. Zeal, +8 attack. I have to figure out a way... First off, am I ranged? I don't believe so. I've never played as this general, actually, so this is a puzzle in and of itself. Hold on. Do not move. Provoked. Cannot move. Must attack Provoker first. Will that break the Spell Shield? I've actually never had a Spell Shield show up. It does not break Spell Shield. I'm at a loss then. I feel like we have to maybe summon our rushed unit and then push it to the other side of the map with... push it to the other side of the map with our walls. Yeah, I think that might be what has to happen. Like, what if I, okay, summon 4 joined walls. So start here. Then go here. Oh, I went out. Okay. I think I've ruined it. Because, like, I can move this guy, but he doesn't quite get to the enemy side. This is a complicated one. The daily, you know, I'm sure once you actually get the flowchart for this down, it's not impossible, but I'm going to go back here. I'm going to do a slightly easier challenge because I'm embarrassed. So we're going to go play solo challenges, and let's do one I've already done, but we'll do it from the normal section. Oh, I haven't done those yet? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's go back slightly earlier then, and we'll do one from the normal section back here. Oh, no, I haven't done the ones from this normal section. Okay, we'll start with... Songhai's Eye of the Tiger. And we can probably do a couple of them. Use self-buffing and rush to defeat the Lionar General in 1 turn. Okay, so we have no units. The enemy general has 3 HP. Give a minion or general +3 attack on this turn. Now, this makes me look like it's baby's first rodeo here. Because now there's only like 2 moving parts. And I'm like, okay, move 2 spaces forward. Give our general +3 attack. Kill the provoke unit that has 5 HP. Summon our rushed unit. Attack the general. Well, first off, move to the general, then attack the general. Alright, sure, okay. You're a very smart boy, Northern Lion. Well done. You got the highest grade in 2nd grade mathematics. Let's move on a little bit further here. Use celerity to defeat the Calabrio in 1 turn. Calabero, sorry. Now we're cooking with gas here. Calabero is 3 HP. Use celerity. So celerity is another effect, which we have on the Azurite Lion here, that allows you to attack twice in 1 turn, effectively. They call it activate, but... Seal, at the end of your turn, return this minion to full health. So you have the thing that heals you back to full HP. We're provoked by this unit that has 10 HP. So we basically just need to have 1 unit attack the general. Give a minion plus attack equal to its health. Give all friendly minions +1/+1. Your general gains +1 attack. You know what? We probably just kill this dude in the middle with celerity, and then have general go finish the job. So probably start, give all friendly minions +1/+1. You can just cast that anywhere on the battlefield. I just targeted our own minions because it made sense. Give a unit plus attack equal to its health. Now we have to do 10 damage. There might be a couple of different ways to finish this. Like, let me get this out here. Could we not just... make this unit a 7/5 instead of making this unit a 7/4. Attack. Attack once. And is this is not a provoke. Okay, then oh, we can't move deep enough to kill the enemy general. I see. Yeah, I have to find some way to actually get in there further. Otherwise, you know, it's not quite finishing the job here. I see. So there's a little extra wrinkle in this puzzle. And that extra wrinkle is getting further. So we have to clear a path for Azurite Lion. So we actually have to kill this unit as well. Okay. I actually have it now. Check this out. All friendly minions +1/+1. Buff this guy. Then give our general +1 attack. Attack with our general this time. And I think maybe Azurite Lion might be able to sneak in. Dude, I felt like a genius for just a second. What about, can you move it? Yeah, move one more space. Go take him out. All right. So this is another thing that I quite like about the game. Sometimes I don't like playing online TCGs online, as ridiculous as that sounds. You know, people can be competitive. I don't always like to deal with that. You know, you beat them because your deck is amazing and you're the world's smartest man, and they go, hey, you joker, why you gotta beat me like that? You must live in your mom's basement. And I'm like, yeah, you know, she makes me the greatest chicken fingers on the planet. Sometimes you just want to, you know, relax a little bit and have the opportunity to fail multiple times without annoying other people or having them laugh at you and make you feel bad about yourself. And there really actually is like a nice curated challenge selection here. Probably this represents maybe like 3 hours of gameplay based on the amount of time I spent with the first couple of options here. If you don't want to just play against the AI, and again, the AI, I think they're a little meager in terms of their difficulty, right now at least. This is another kind of like alternative challenge, which also teaches you elements about the game without simply like forcing you to do the same kind of battles over and over. So we'll finish off by playing a ranked game here on the season ladder. There is no unranked mode right now, but there is the gauntlet. This is the draft mode. Honestly, first off, I have to play 16 more games to unlock it. 16 more season ladder games to unlock it. But I don't trust my card eval skills yet to play it. But I do believe that is free. And instead, you just well, actually, you know what? I don't know that yet, but I haven't read about it costing anything. So take that with a grain of salt for now. Average wait time is 22 seconds. We should be in a game anytime now. That was fast, and we're both playing Lionar here. I'm on the right side of the screen, which means I am pretty much destined to lose. But actually, you know what? I've been doing okay. Admittedly, I'm Bronze League, which means I'm playing against people that are around my level. Let's go. Let's get this 4-mana creature out of here. I like the Blood Tier Alchemists. I think they're pretty useful for giving us a little tempo early game. But instead, we just got another buff for our general, an artifact, which I don't think is that valuable right now. But his starting hand could be bad as well. So let's see how this goes. Online community, it's pretty robust. I mean, it is a free-to-play game, and, you know, the TCG renaissance is upon us. Tons of people playing Magic, Hearthstone, Infinity Wars, etc., etc. Hex, Gwent's coming out. Like, we're really in a golden age for these. So games have been fast, you know, like that estimated wait time has been pretty accurate for me. So the Dream Gazer is an interesting card. It's epic rarity. Summon the Zeal, so he's gonna get this Mana Spring. What's kind of interesting with this card is we'll replace it, and then it'll get summoned for free, so no mana cost, but it costs us 2 HP, which I think is justifiable. And we have 3 mana actually, so I'm going to use well, I mean, we could go pretty hard here considering we've got such low cost spells, but our card disadvantage is going to be high. I think you throw down Blood Tier Alchemist, hit this guy, also gives us the Mana Spring. What do you do after that? You summon a Piercing Mantis? I don't know how good Frenzy's going to be right now. You might say, why not just use your Sunstone Bracers and, you know, make your general super buff? It may not be a bad idea, but I can also use these cards to recycle later, so I sort of feel like it's more sensible to not. So I'm actually just going to throw down the Frenzied dude right here, and maybe we'll throw one of these on ourselves, but I don't want to overplay my hand too much right now. I want him to look at my hand and be like, I've got 4 cards in hand. I could be doing a bunch of stuff. Okay. So obviously he's going to hit the Mana Spring. If he chooses to kill the Dream Gazer, I'll just summon my Blood Tier Alchemist. He's got a provoked unit. We could provoke ourselves in a second as well. So this guy gets the extra Zeal. He will be dead on the next turn though, but a little bit of a card disadvantage to make it happen. But it may take him by surprise nonetheless. And then we got to think about how we're going to deal with this provoked unit. Or this unit that is provoking, I should say. I think step 1 is just going to be, hey, throw this guy on the mana spring. And now those are taken out of the equation. And then we'll just hit this guy for 1 with our opening gambit. So he's gone. And actually, I'm gonna overplay my hand. I know I said I might not, but I'm going to. I'm gonna play an artifact on myself. Can I play it again? I don't think I've ever done this. Alright, so we got 2 artifacts. They probably both lose durability at the same time. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm gonna move my general. Attack for 4, take 3 damage. You know, life is a resource. Yeah, they both lose 1 durability. Attack for 2. We've already gotten a lot of value out of this guy. And, then we're going to put down our provoked unit right here. So we're going to use all of our cards, basically. And the reason that provoked unit goes down is so my frenzy unit can be here and not be attacked itself. And I didn't want to attack with the frenzy unit just yet because the frenzy... Ooh, deal 2 damage to this minion. That's good value. I didn't want to attack with it yet because it attacks in an area of effect. Your general gains +1 attack, sure. So I'd rather have the area of effect hit multiple units because we only get hit once when we frenzy. Okay, so he's got the same thing going on. 2 bracers. I'd say that our opponent is in a pretty good position right now relative to myself. But I do have this provoked unit on the battlefield here, and it does get the +2 attack from Zeal, so I like it. And this is something I like about this game, is that it's not just about CCG mechanics. I feel like I have a little bit of latent competitive chess left in me. I played competitive chess for like 5 or 6 years when I was younger, and there's... Some of the elements of that hold true in this as well. You know, like spacing, tempo is something in chess as well. It's not just something in CCGs. I think we're going to recycle this because it's not that good. And we should bring this unit down. I think at this point we just throw basically damage at this guy. And we'll see how this works. We're going toe-to-toe, but he has much better... cards in hand right now. I want to leave the provoked unit alive and throw the celerity unit down here, which can do 8 damage next turn, assuming it lives, and we can do 4 ourselves, so we can get pretty close to a finish here. And I'm going to use my Bloodborne spell, because we've got excess mana, and use that to buff our celerity unit. Basically, it has double strike, so I could actually do 12 damage. We have our opponent on lethal, in our present situation, so this could actually be good for us here. But yeah, by and large, you know, it's a sponsored video. Again, please take it as more advertisement than necessarily just being informative. But they're not holding a gun to my head being like, tell them about the tempo mechanics in Duelyst. Tell them about how it's a fusion of TCGs and grid-based strategy games. You know, I've actually been having a lot of fun with this game. I played it recreationally. The pitch for this game came in like a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. And then it sort of fell off the radar for a little while. We were waiting on things to get ironed out, and I was like, it might not actually happen. I was still playing it recreationally during that time, which is a pretty glowing endorsement for how I feel about it. What is this? I mean, I appreciate your sword being up in the air. And the thing I think that really separates... I mean, he's doing some bravado-based taunts right now. No provoke. Celerity. So far, so good. Maybe we've actually managed to make this work. I think we have. 6, 6, 4. Yeah, I mean, we should win right here. Unless I'm... No, I don't think I miscalculated. Hey! I am not always bad at video games. Check it out. And we may get some gold here as well. I'm not sure if we're going to get enough to get a pack, but that's okay. So after you finish, you can add your friend. You can also... you can add them to your friends, I should say. You can also tip them 5 gold, or you can report them. But that seems a little disingenuous right now. Oh, we did get our final card. Oh, not our final card, but our final starter card, maybe. A new general. So there are alternate generals for each class as well. Different Bloodborne spells. And did we rank up? Sweet. We are now rank 27. And we got, we actually got 85 gold just for completing that. Congratulations on completing your first quest. Well, that's embarrassing. Enjoy this amazing epic card rarity boost to your collection. They don't give out too many quests for completing 4 out of 5 puzzles in the normal tier. That's cool, though. Draw a random artifact from your deck. We should actually now... We have 115 gold, so I'll tell you what. We'll buy a Spirit Orb. You can see here, it's the same pricing as Hearthstone. The model is definitely inspired by it. Like, 40 packs for 50 bucks. You do get a small discount as you go up in the economy of scale here. You can also, your first 10 packs, if you want to buy them, are $1 each USD, as opposed to, you know, $1.20 if you buy them through this pack. But you can also buy them through in-game gold. It comes at about the same rate that it does in Hearthstone, in my opinion. You can also, purchase them with your credit card information or PayPal if you want. But drag them onto the middle here. And we got two rares and an epic. You're guaranteed one rare, but it's admittedly anecdotal. But I've seen a lot of legendaries, a lot of epics, and many multi-pack rares, or multi-rare packs, I should say. So I think they come a little more fast and furious than Hearthstone does, which, I mean, admittedly makes them less rare in many ways, but at the same time, it gives you that serotonin rush. But Holy Immolation. This is for Lionar, which is great. You can see the neutral ones here. Restore 4 health to a friendly minion. Deal 4 damage to enemy minions and generals around it. That seems really good for 4 HP. Or sorry, 4 mana. Especially if you can use it on a unit that's trapped in the middle. And Skywing Warmaster, 3 mana, 3/3 with flying, and other units with flying cost less. That could, enable almost like a flying tribal synergy or something. And then Razorback Minion for 3, but it gives all friendly minions +2 attack this turn. That's kind of cool if you're swarming the enemy, I guess, playing a tempo deck. Anyway, what I think is really interesting about Duelyst is this fusion of TCG mechanics and also grid-based strategy style gameplay. I don't do 40-minute videos unless I like them the game to begin with, but do keep in mind this is a sponsored video. This is your disclaimer. It's in the video description. It's at the top of the video. It's here. But I have been enjoying myself a great deal as well. So thanks to Counterplay Games for hooking us up with this deal and supporting us while we play this. But I do think it's interesting. It's not the first time that this has been done, but I do think that it's one of the most interesting, and I like the pixel art style as well. But for now, if you want to play the game, there will be a link in the video description below. Of course, you can download the client for free. All microtransactions in the game are optional, of course. If you wish to purchase them, you may do so. I don't get a cut or anything from when you purchase them as well. This is just it's a paid rate for the content. I don't get, $5,000 for every person that I refer to the game, although that would be dope. Of course, if you liked the video, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. The link to download the client will be in the video description below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.